Hi, this is Anthony Lighthall. Thank you for joining me today on this podcast entitled From Dreams to Actions, where we talk about business goals, supporting positive energy, and following your dreams. On today's episode, we are going to talk about becoming the master of new skills. So, you've decided that you want to learn a new skill and later on, hopefully, become the master of that new skill. So you are getting out of your comfort zone, you're trying something new that you've never done before, or maybe it was an idea that you've always wanted to do, and now you're saying, okay, I'm ready, I'm up for that challenge. I want to talk to you about a couple of things to kind of think about as you're going through that journey of mastering a new skill and some of the ups and downs, some of the accomplishments, just some food for thought for today. So let's go ahead and get into it. First one, understand that when you're learning something new, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is not a get rich quick. This is not a I want to learn a new language in 30 days. I want to learn how to, I want to master woodworking in less than 3 months. No, this is a marriage. It is a marathon. And even when you do learn something new and you feel very comfortable learning that skill, you are constantly learning. It's just like speaking a language. I speak English, but there's always new slang. There's always new terms. There's probably new words that are always added to the dictionary that I am always still learning while I talk to people or while I travel to different states. And it's the same thing with a new skill. You're going to consistently learn and not stop learning, hopefully, but there's always going to be a new way to do something, new technology, new machinery that you are going to have to learn and kind of master along your journey. So, again, understand that this is a marathon, aka a marriage. You're kind of stuck with this new skill as long as you want to be stuck with it while you are trying to master it and teach it to other people or trying to make money off of it, whatever your goal is. Just understand that. As an example, with it, you have to immerse yourself in this new skill. You have to understand maybe it's the culture of something you're trying to get into, or there's a community for it, and how do you connect with that network? So, again, it's a marathon. So don't think this is going to be quick and easy. It's something that you're going to have to be consistent with it. As an example, as I mentioned with immersing yourself in like the culture of something, we'll use the example of learning a new language. And let's say it's learning French. And a lot of times when you're learning a new language, yeah, it's learning the alphabet, it's learning how to tell time and your numbers, but you also have to kind of take a step back and really understand the history and immerse yourself in that culture. Where did this language originate from? Why do people speak in this accent or this dialect? Why, let's say, speaking French in France, the south of France speaks different than the city of Paris, or was it French Canadians speak different from someone who's from France. It's learning that history, and that's going to help you to understand learning that new skill. And again, using this example of a foreign language, you have to immerse yourself in that culture, in that history, connecting with people, developing relationships, friendships, or a network of people that know this culture or this community or speak this language, and they can actually help you about different terms that they say or different slang that's used or something that has a saying that has been used since the beginning of time that's probably known throughout this community. So really submerging yourself in that is really going to help you to kind of master a skill. It's almost like your pre-homework assignment before you start learning that language, and it can definitely help you, and it's pretty much part of the education side of mastering a language, or mastering something, where you're educating yourself, you're humbling yourself, you're coming in as a newborn to this, and you want to be a sponge and soak up all of this information and soak up the history, the culture, of learning the language of French, and being able to use that to help you along the way of learning this new skill. Okay. The next thing I wanted to mention to you with a new skill is this road is very unpredictable. What you have planned and what you thought of with mastering this new skill or this new talent, this once you're on this road, is there's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of curves. It's a lot of uh, what is it? A fork in the road. Do I go left? Do I go right? But that's the exciting part. That's your journey. That's the piece that you're trying to figure out for yourself. So make sure that you stay committed. These ups and downs and these roadblocks, they're going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, you're guaranteed that you're going to have failures and setbacks. But you have to understand that it comes with the territory. It comes with getting out of your comfort zone. And your responsibility is once you hit those roadblocks, learn from them, analyze them, go back to the drawing board. Okay, well, this didn't work. Let me try it a different way. And here's the other thing. You learning a skill in that journey is going to be different from someone else. You could probably kind of shadow someone, you could kind of listen to their story, but your path is going to be different on how you went about learning this. So, take that into consideration as well. If you are, trying to get tips on YouTube or following people on social media platforms, understand their journey is different. People all learn at a different capacity. Some are faster, some take more time, some need more repetitive uh, repetitive practice, I'll say. And then you can go down the list of a hands-on learner versus auditory learner versus someone who's more visual. Everyone's different. So understand that those roadblocks are just there, or those failures are there because it's really molding you. It's teaching you like, okay, well, this didn't work. This isn't a good fit for you. Let's try it this way. But continue to be consistent throughout this learning process. So again, whatever your vision is with learning a new skill, it's going to be totally different when you are on the road to learn that skill and to master that skill. Just keep that in mind. Don't get discouraged, but just keep that in mind as you are going through your journey here. As I kind of mentioned throughout the journey was consistency. Consistency is very important as well. I would probably put that pretty high on the rank of this because, as the old saying goes, if you lose it, you lose. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I believe that's true. Whether it's a new language, whether if you want to learn how to sew, you want to learn how to cook, if you're not consistently doing it, you could lose some of uh, those tips you learned, or certain things that worked for you. You may forget them if you haven't done them in the last 3 months or the last couple of years. Like, oh, I did used to put vanilla extract into this baking, and it made it taste really good. Just certain things. If you're not consistent with that process, you could definitely lose it, and then you're kind of um, back to the drawing board with kind of with mastering or trying to learn this skill. So consistency is really important. Another thing I would kind of mention with consistency is I always say quality is it basically quality trumps quantity. So what I mean by that is, don't get so hung up on how much you're doing or how many exercises you're doing. And I'm gonna give an example of exercising, but with the gym. But think about the quality. What's the quality that you are studying this new skill? There may be steps to this new skill. Have you focused on step number one and completed it? Has step number one gave you that platform to go to step number two? Once you've mastered step number two, now you can go to step number three. Every skill is different on how it has its blueprint, I will say. But again, quality is really important. Quality really helps. And again, it's not how much time you're spending on it, it's the quality time that you are spending on it or with it so that you can continue to learn and continue to grow, with that skill. Let me give you an example of exercising. A lot of people want to get back to the gym. Maybe someone's training for a marathon, someone's training for bodybuilding. You honestly, yes, you spend time on this skill, uh, uh, exercising this muscle or these muscle groups, but you don't have to be in the gym all day. Some people will, that's like their life. They're bodybuilders, they'll be in the gym, that's their job. But people, uh the average person that just wants to go into the gym and get their heart rate up, maybe work on their biceps, their tris, their glutes, etc. You don't have to be in the gym all day. You could really do 30-minute workouts, and someone who's in their 30 minutes, high intensity jogging, jump roping, 10-second rest intervals versus someone who is in their 45 minutes to maybe an hour and a half. That 30-minute person, if they focused and they were consistent with those exercises, they're probably working harder or just as hard as that person being in there for an hour and a half. So going more into this example of exercising, because this is a great example for this. When you go to the gym, there's so many different machines. There's uh, dumbbells. There's machines for your shoulders, machines for your glutes, the treadmill, elliptical, bicycles. There's so many machines and so many things you can do. And then there's body workouts you can do with jumping jacks, burpees. You could jump rope. There's a lot of different things you can do just with your body alone without any machines or dumbbells. But the thing is, you don't have to go to every single machine or grab every single dumbbell. Just being there for 30 minutes or so, and use a couple dumbbells for different muscle groups, and then use a machine for another muscle group, and just be really consistent with that. Kind of switch up certain things when you go into the gym and your body gets comfortable, but you don't have to. What I'm getting at is you don't have to use every single machine that's in there. Some machines may not even be what you like to use. You may not feel comfortable using some of those certain machines, but there's other exercises or workouts that you can use to work that same muscle group without using this machine, without using this size dumbbell. Are you catching what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the quality. What's the quality of this workout? What's the quality of you running on this treadmill? You could run on a treadmill for 30 minutes, but you could either run straight on a treadmill or you could do the incline. You could increase your uh, not the reps, but increase the speed, decrease the speed, do a stair climb. There's so many different things that you can do for the quality of that workout. And that's what I'm getting at. And that's why I use that example with exercising, because when you exercise, I think that's where a lot of people get overwhelmed, where they go to the gym, they don't know what to do, what machines work, what muscle groups. And I think that's where a lot of people get overwhelmed. And then there's other people in the gym, they just know it. They just know what they want to work out on. They're writing things down, they got their water, they're ready. And for someone who's not knowledgeable in that or understands that, they may say, oh, let me use this machine, let me use that machine. And that's where the failure or the setbacks, I'll say, come in, where you're like, oh, I wasn't comfortable on that machine, or oh, my shoulder kind of hurts. Maybe you were using it wrong, or maybe it's just not a good machine that you should probably be using. But I'll get off this example, but I wanted to use that the gym exercising example just to really drive my point with the quality versus quantity of the machines or dumbbells that you're using. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's move forward. Uh, let Minimize distractions and temptations when you are focused on this new skill, this new goal. You have to minimize those distractions. That includes people. So these are people who aren't motivated, who always want you to go out and party with them, or who are always inviting you to something. What is in it for you? I'm not saying don't go out and just be so focused on your skill. You need a break, but don't get so wrapped up in what other people want you to do, because people will, they're time suckers. They will drain your time. So make sure that you know it's like your homework when you're going to school. Did you finish your homework? Okay, you can go play outside. It's the same thing. You're going to have that discipline as an adult or as somebody who wants to master the skill. Make sure that you take care of what you're taking care of first, and then you can do the extracurricular activities or whatever you want to do to kind of get that mental break, which is fine. But all in all, you just have to stay focused. So, like I said, the distractions could be people, definitely social media. Be careful of this. Don't, if you want to, uh, trying to think of another example here without repeating what I said. If you want to learn how to sew, you want to learn how to use a sewing machine, and you're watching people making bags and pillows and scarves and dresses, don't get so hung up on what they're doing, because they have probably been doing this. They probably were taught by their grandmother. They probably come from a bloodline of people who sew. You're just now starting out. Probably use that as encouragement, to be like, one day I'm going to sew me a dress. That's fine, but don't get so hung up on that, because that could be a distraction where that distraction could turn into you being discouraged on continuing on with the skill and mastering that. So social media, just be very careful and conscious of that. And also the advice that people give, like on social media and stuff, on how quickly they did something. I wouldn't believe all of that. Maybe some people did, learn something really quickly and take their master course or whatever. But, just be very, very wary of that. Make sure you have your blinders on. Make sure you have when I mean blinders, I mean like a horse, in a race, they always have those side blinders. Just stay focused and minimize those distractions. Another thing I would highly suggest is create an environment where you can submerge yourself, you can learn, you can focus, in your apartment or home. Have just a small, you don't need an office, but just have some area where you can, in a corner away from TV, where you can just focus on what you're learning, whether you're using a laptop, whether you're using a sewing machine. This is your place of focus. That's why I like going to the gym. I've done home workouts, but sometimes you're like, oh, I'll get back to it. It's so convenient. But when you get in the car or when you get on your bicycle, you go to the gym, you're like, okay, I did all this. I'm going to do a workout today. I didn't just travel just to do this for nothing. So that's my study area of going to the gym. That's what that place is for, not to hang out. So create that environment where you can really flourish and you can really focus on that. And I would say lastly, set goals for yourself. They don't, have your overall goal, but also have your small stepping stone goals. That's going to be very helpful, because it's going to help you reach, and really reach and elevate towards that master goal. Also, it sets time frames. Be disciplined with your time. Okay, for an hour, I'm going to work on this. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for 2 hours from this time to this time, or maybe you just say for 2 hours, I'm going to work on this skill. I'm going to focus on that. Or 30 minutes. I'm going to the gym Saturday mornings and Monday evenings or whatever. Be disciplined. Set a time frame for yourself. Don't just say, okay, well, I have time. I'm going to work on it. No, wake up, have your create your routine. That's going to help you to stay disciplined and to stay focused and not to be distracted. And this is the time where you turn your phone off. Okay, whoever's emailing me, texting me, I'm focused on this. So having that discipline and those that time frame and setting those goals, that's going to really help with your consistency with mastering this goal. Okay. Last thing I would say, which I'm guilty of, so I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to you. Celebrate your achievements. No matter how large or small, celebrate those achievements. Please do. And Anthony, I'm talking to myself. Anthony, you have to celebrate your achievements and those small wins, because those small wins are going to help you reach that greater goal or that next goal to keep you elevated. So, everyone, and Anthony included, celebrate your achievements. You need to congratulate yourself. You need to pat yourself on the back. You need to go out for a celebratory lunch, get you some ice cream, something that you're like, okay, I did this and I can continue to do this. Great. I learned this new word in French or in Spanish or in German. Okay, now I can learn these new sayings, or I connected with these people, this community of woodworkers. Great. That was an achievement because I got out of my comfort zone. I didn't know these people before. I didn't even know this community existed, but now I've connected with them and we've exchanged contact information. I can talk to them about different areas of woodworking. Celebrate those wins. People, it's steps. I told you, it's a marathon. It's a marriage. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. So definitely focus on that. So celebrate those wins, and recognize that you are growing. Those small wins, those small stepping stones are gradually taking you towards your greater goal and pushing you forward and getting you out of your comfort zone. And don't worry, just don't worry. It's helping you to blossom. It's helping you to reach your full potential because I know you can do it. So let's do a quick recap here, as I take a look at my notes. First thing, as I mentioned, immerse yourself in the subject matter. I use the example of learning French, and perhaps travel, get with a French speaking community, have friends who are from France, or in certain places in Canada that speak French. Understand that and research and educate yourself. Be on the internet and YouTube certain things that people are teaching you. So immerse yourself. Number two, embrace the mistakes and understand that they are valuable lessons. These mistakes are valuable lessons for you to help you grow and to elevate, towards your goal, your ultimate goal of mastering this skill. Number three, stay committed and consistent, especially during those challenging times. Like I said, um, the time commitment, the patience, determination, that's all going to be tested. So be ready for that, but you're going to push through that. I know you are, and you're going to continue to be consistent. Number four, focus on the quality of work, not so much as the quantity. I'll repeat, focus on the quality of your work versus the quantity. Anyone could go to the gym and pick up every dumbbell, go to every machine and be there for 5 hours. But you were smart. You came prepared and you're like, okay, I'm gonna work out, let's say my biceps and chest, and I'm just gonna work on those muscle groups and use these 5 machines instead of using 25 machines. So quality of your work versus quantity of your work. I always get tongue tied with those. I always want to make sure I'm saying the right way of saying that. Number five, uh, remain focused and overcome any distractions. Like I said, people that are trying to drain your time, focusing on people on social media who are probably doing more than you or better than you, use it as inspiration. Don't use it as discouragement. Last one, and Anthony, I'm speaking to you again. Celebrate your wins. Definitely do that, people. Celebrate, congratulate yourself, do it by yourself or share it with someone else because other people want to see you grow, especially when you have a great network. Okay. So again, just to wrap up here, if you want to be the master of your of new skills and goals, go for it. Start today. Start writing certain things down that you've always wanted to learn and kind of master and just kind of dive into. Go ahead and start researching that today because I know you can do it. I know you're going to overcome any obstacles for that. And I really hope that this was very helpful. I'm sure there's a lot more information on mastering a skill and goals, but these are ones that have helped me. This is what keeps me going. But, create your own list, create your own top 5 or top 10 things that are going to help you to reach your full potential and to help you master a new skill. Get out of your comfort zone, get out there and learn something new. Thank you again for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Like, share, and comment. And also remember to follow your dreams.